you treat your time, your body, and your money this month determines your next chapter. Let's get into it, Pisces. I'm going to give you the general transits in the sky, and then I'll open up your chart for you and we'll go through the month and I'll show you how your story is going to unfold energetically. Kicking off the month, Mercury is in your 6th house, and Mercury, the planet of communication and news and what your mind is focused on, hanging out in your 6th house of your work routines, your day-to-day routines, and your health routines. It might be a time where you are trying to figure out what the best use of your time is throughout the day. What time should you wake up? When should you work? When should you take a break? When should you go to the gym? And you're really looking for like efficiency so you can be more effective and more productive in less time. It's also a time where you might hear some news about your work, maybe about colleagues, coworkers, something to do with your department, because Mercury does bring the energy of news. And it's also a time, Pisces, where you might be a little bit more social than normal. Like when you're out and about running errands, you might be a little bit more interested in chatting it up with the barista or maybe the person at the dry cleaners or something like that. And finally, you might be very focused in on your health, on trying to figure out the right supplements, the right food to eat, the right exercise routine to have for you that works best for your body. And it's also a time where you're focused in on having your home very organized. And that's really smart, Pisces, because from an energetic perspective, when the home is clean and organized, the energy flows really nicely. And if you're somebody who's listening that works from home, it's absolutely beneficial for you, or maybe you have a home business. So the energy flows really smoothly, you get a lot done, and money is flowing into your home business. Then on the 18th of the month, Mercury goes retrograde. And we all know Mercury retrograde typically brings miscommunications, delays, and even some technology glitches. So be mindful here, Pisces. Now, at Lindsay with Love, we are not victim to the astrology and the energy in the sky. We are aware of it, right? We look at astrology as an awareness tool. So you know Mercury retrogrades from the 18th of July until about August 11th. So not the best time to be signing any contracts, making any big purchases. It's not necessarily the best time to change anything up in your routine because you're not thinking super clearly. If you're working with your boss, your colleagues, make sure to double check your work, double check the email that you're writing, save your work often. And it's also a time if you are out and about running errands in your day-to-day and you've got appointments or something, just give yourself extra time. You might hit traffic or something like that. So what about love and money, Pisces? Well, Venus enters into your 4th house on the 4th of the month. And Venus is the energy of love and money entering into this house of home and family. So from a love perspective, I would expect that you are really enjoying being at home, spending time with your family, more quality time, really connecting with them on a deeper level. It's a time where you might want to add maybe new decor to your home or really, make it more beautiful than it already is perhaps. And from a money perspective, with Venus, the energy of money here in your house of home and family, maybe somebody in your family is bringing more money into the home. Maybe you decide to have an at-home business that you start up with your family or a family business that you start up. Could be a time where you end up working from home, right? We were just talking about how your routine might shift or something like that with Mercury in your 6th house, and now you're working from home, so you've got this like love and magnetic and money energy in your home life. It's also a good time to perhaps sell your house. You might get more money than you expect. It's also a good time to buy a house or buy some land, and you might save some money and get it cheaper than you expected. From a physical perspective, Pisces, you've got Mars hanging out in your 7th house. It's a time where you're likely making more time for your relationships, which really does go hand in hand back with this Mercury in the 6th house where you're figuring out your routines because you want to spend time with the people that you love and that are close to you, and you like to spend time in person, so you've got to figure out those routines, right? Now, I just talked about how Venus is filling your home with lots of love and those connections with lots of love, but Mars in the 7th house is a little bit assertive and maybe borderline aggressive. So just be mindful the way that you are spending time with people, communicating with people. Now, it is a good time if you're looking for a business partner, a new bestie, even a soulmate. You're like putting yourself out there. You're not afraid. You're like, I'm gonna go find that person. I'm gonna be vulnerable and courageous at the same time and see who I attract in. Pisces, if we're just meeting for the first time, I'm Lindsay, and I'm here to transform as many lives as I possibly can by teaching people how to build their awareness and understand how to use their energy from a spiritual perspective so they can actually manifest their dream reality. So Pisces, if you're enjoying this, hit the subscribe button and check out the description box below for all of my products and services. Now, I won't go into Jupiter here in this video because Jupiter entered into Cancer last month. We talked about it there. But if you're interested in learning about Jupiter and Cancer for the next year, you can check out the description box below. There is a link to the Jupiter and Cancer all signs video. So Pisces, July is quite interesting because there's a lot of shifts with the outer planets. And so from a collective perspective, things are going to shift, but it's also going to impact you personally as well. So starting on the 5th of the month, Neptune retrogrades in your second house. And then on the 13th of the month, Saturn also retrogrades into your second house. Neptune retrograde, this is the energy of you kind of taking off your rose-colored glasses. Everything is no longer rainbows and unicorns, more like, you know, really seeing something for what it is. The second house involves your self-worth, it involves your natural gifts and talents, and it involves your money, the money you earn from your skills. So you might be really looking at your money and trying to figure out how to enhance your skill set, how to either, you know, receive more money in from your job, receive more money in for the skills you have, start charging more money. You're looking at it many different ways. It's a really good time to gut check yourself, Pisces, and look at your external reality, and likely it has to do with your skill set and your money. And then go inward and reflect on what you tell yourself about your skill set and your money, and even what you tell yourself about your worthiness. You know, the second house is very interesting. A lot of astrologers just focus on the money aspect of it, and it's important to look at all of the components, which is, if you don't have self-worth, you're not going to build out your skill set, and if you don't build out your skill set, you won't receive more money. So you've got to have the self-worth right. So are you feeding yourself positive energy? Are you telling yourself you're worthy and deserving, Pisces? If you have an external reality that you don't love, go inward and start tweaking what you're saying to yourself about your skills, about what you can charge for your skills, about the money that you earn, about how you manage money and your worthiness. And with Saturn retrograde here as well, it's a time where after you do that gut check, Saturn is kind of like, let's bird's eye view this out. Let's kind of look at it from above very objectively and see where maybe our structures are lacking. Like, do you have your money managed accordingly? Are you managing your money, Pisces? I heard recently, Pisces, that you can either be the master of money or you can be enslaved to it and it's the master of you. So you've got to command your money, and maybe you are meant to take a step back and look at the structures you have in place. Are they for the long run? Are they beneficial for you? Or is there no structure at all and maybe you're just building it out? Or if there is some structure, is there some tweaking that needs to be done? Then things get even more interesting, Pisces, because Uranus enters Gemini on the 6th of the month for the first time in 84 years since 1941. Now, this is a collective shift. Let's break it down. Uranus in the highest vibration is the energy of innovation, invention, individuality, authenticity, what you do from an individual perspective to make the world a better place. So humanitarian efforts, philanthropic efforts, and it's also the energy and the planet of dismantling systems that no longer serve you so you can innovate and build them in a way that serves you as well as the collective or all of humanity. With this energy in Gemini, Gemini is the energy of our education, our intellect, studying, learning, our communication, our mindset. So from a collective perspective, I do believe that we will see the dismantling of education systems the way that they currently are and innovating the systems so that they serve more people and in a better way. I also think that more people are going to start to realize that our minds and our thoughts do truly create our external reality. And so I think more people are going to be interested and open-minded to the idea of like remote viewing, telepathy, astral travel, subconscious reprogramming, past life regression, all those kind of more alternative things that people are still kind of not so open to, but it's getting more and more mainstream. And the last thing I would say is Uranus, it does involve technology and technological advances. So I would assume that we will see really fast advancing technology, AI, ETs, otherworldly things like that. So for you, Pisces, this is happening in your 4th house. So when I think of it from a 4th house perspective, it's like maybe you have a certain home structure or family structure that it's like okay, but you want to make it so much better. And so you're maybe dismantling or figuring out like, how do I change this about my home so I can buy a second home? How do I change this so I can go do this and retire here? I don't know. It's very like renovating, innovating type of energy in this house and family and land kind of space for you. It could also be that you use the land in some new inventive way, because Uranus is innovation and invention. So Maybe you're discovering something to do with the land and how you can use it to make the world a better place. Also be that you're working with your family on, reprogramming their minds and helping them understand the power of positivity and affirmations and subconscious reprogramming. Could even be Pisces that you have decided to take on the role of a family healer, generational healer, and release your family from some cycles that perhaps you guys have been stuck in for quite some time. So it can play out so many different ways, but it's very exciting. And I would expect over the next 7 to 8 years, your family life and your home life to kind of evolve and innovate and transform in a very beautiful way. Pisces, then on the 10th of the month, there is a full moon happening in your 11th house. And remember, full moons typically bring endings, completions, culminations, something to fruition, or they shine a spotlight on something that perhaps you missed before, because it's kind of like a flashlight shining down into the shadows, so to speak. With this full moon happening in your 11th house, it's all about your social networks, friends you're spending time with, groups and organizations you're spending time with. And it's likely that there's going to be some shifts there. Perhaps you realize that you've been spending time with somebody and you just don't have the same frequency anymore, and you're evolving your life and your friend is stagnant. And so you release yourself from the friendship. Maybe you're releasing yourself from groups or organizations that you just no longer vibe with. It's a time where you could experience some shifts in the money you earn from your career, the 11th house about the money you earn from your career. And the most beautiful part of this full moon, I think, Pisces, for you, is that it's happening in your house of authenticity as well. So I think it's a really beautiful time for you to stop discounting yourself, fully shine your light, maybe for the first time ever, Pisces, without caring what anybody else thinks, because the more authentic you are, the more you will be rewarded by the universe. And finally, on the 24th, there is a new moon happening in your 6th house. We talked about this earlier with Mercury hanging out here. Now, the 6th house, once again, is your routines, your work routine, health routine, all of that. So whatever you want to manifest around your day-to-day life, I mean, you could write down like the best day ever and send it out to the universe. Just a word of caution, Pisces, is that Mercury is retrograde here. So you might be like, I don't even know what I want. I can't figure it out. So, pencil it out, erase it if you have to, redo it if you have to, and get clear on it. Maybe take a couple of days before you send out your desires to the universe. All right, Pisces, let's get going. I have you here, I have my computer here, I have my notes here. So I'll be bopping back and forth, but I'll do my best to look at the camera and give you some eye contact. So really quickly, bringing your attention down to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen is the date, and this is how we will move the planets along this month. So if you at any point are like, what day are we talking about? You can always refer down there. And let's get going. Okay, so starting off the month, and the entire background scene of this month for you is going to involve Jupiter in Cancer, sextile Mars in Virgo, and this is big, bold action. Mars, the planet of action, bold energy, Jupiter, the planet of expansion. And this is a sextile, so it's a harmonious energy playing out all month. And it's like the door is open, but Pisces, you have to walk through the door. So there is action that needs to be taken with this energy. So what does this mean for you? You are going to be moving and grooving inside of your relationships. You've got Mars, the energy of action in your relationship house. This is assertive energy. So you might be like a gung-ho, set out to find the perfect partner, the best friend, the perfect business partner, the perfect whoever in your life. And so you're taking action in relationship, and it's going to expand like your everyday life. Jupiter down here, abundance and expansion in your 5th house of life's pleasures and what really brings you joy. You could finally meet and start a relationship, full-blown relationship with somebody who just totally expands your world, lights you up inside. Now, remember, this 5th house is your life's pleasures. It involves romance. It involves children. It involves your creative self-expression and even entrepreneurial pursuits if you're doing that. And so it's good high vibe energy all around those areas of life. So you might meet the perfect business partner that helps you expand your business and your entrepreneurial journey, and all of a sudden, boom, you're like really in business. Everything's moving and grooving. You could meet the perfect soulmate, romance down here, relationship up here that expands your world, expands in a way of children even, right? The 5th house of children. You could start to express yourself a little bit more freely and openly and creatively. And because of it, you're, moving and grooving inside of your relationships. So it'll play out differently for all of you Pisces listening. So, take it as it resonates and use the energy in the sky, Pisces. I always want to remind people that are listening that astrology is not something that happens to you. Life is happening for you. And the astrology is an awareness tool about the energetic potentials in the sky. So this is a potential for you, but you do have to take action. You have to be an active participant in creating your reality. Okay, let's move on, Pisces. All right, from the first of the month, you've got Venus down here in Taurus, conjunct Uranus in Taurus as well. So watch the planets together. I'm going to move the chart along. This is the 2nd of July, 3rd of July, 4th of July. They're super conjunct. 5th of July, Venus enters into Gemini. 6th of July, Taurus enters into Gemini. So from the 1st to the 4th, this conjunction is happening in your 3rd house. What does this mean? Well, Venus, the energy of love and money, hanging out with Uranus, the energy of innovation, invention, individuality, authenticity, breaking down systems that aren't working for you as it relates to love and money so that you can rebuild them better for the good of you and for everybody involved in your 3rd house of your mindset, your intellect, your communication, short trips, your neighborhood. So how will this play out? Well, you might start or you might decide to fuel your mind with love and you're breaking through limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. You start to fuel your mind and start to speak with love, and you start to raise your vibration to become more authentic. You decide to study something new that breaks you out of some sort of rut that you might have been stuck in around money or love. You decide to maybe go on a short trip, solo trip, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I just met somebody that I'm into. It's that type of energy. Now, this conjunction is also like very much like, I'm an individual, you can't hold me down. It's very freeing, it's expansive, it's independent type of energy. So maybe you're thinking for yourself for the first time in a long time. I mean, not that I want to say that, but it's like this 3rd house of your mind and your intellect. And maybe you're realizing that the beliefs that you've been believing were programmed when you were before the age of 0, before you were even a thought in your mother's mind until the age of 7. And you're like, oh my gosh, this belief is actually very negative and limiting, and it's been ruling my life. It's that type of a vibe, and you're breaking free from it. So enjoy that. And then we will move the planets along to the 6th of the month. Technically it starts there, 6th to the 10th. I've still got them circled. And now you see this energy hanging out in your 4th house of home and family life. So now it's breaking free from maybe a tradition that is holding you back from a family perspective. You healing, you taking on the role of healing your family as it relates to perhaps money or self-love, self-worth, something like that. Healing your family and like being the one that's bold and brave enough to make a new choice or new decision around money so you can propel your family out of maybe a stuck cycle that's been happening perhaps for generations. This is you wanting to have some individuality within your family unit. So maybe you're feeling like you're a little bit lost in the mix, or you've lost a part of yourself because of family rules, traditions, culture, whatever. And so you're kind of reclaiming your individuality. It could be that you're expanding like your land, real estate, portfolio type of vibes here. And it could also be that you are kind of like rewriting the story or relating to your mother in a different way with this Venus Uranus energy in the house of your mother. So it could play out in a bunch of different ways. And that goes until the 10th. And we have one more thing to talk about with this, and then we'll keep moving forward. But you have this energy of expansion, freedom, kind of wanting to just like blast out, do your own thing, rebuild in some way. And it's trine Pluto in your 12th house of your faith, self-trust, connection to your higher self and intuition, your spirituality, bad habits or addictions even. So, I mean, once again, it's very like family energetic coded, it feels like. In other words, you are going to do something about breaking the generational trauma of your family. You are going to make a change and you're standing in your faith and you are trusting the universe. Bless you, my little dog just sneezed. Bless you. Oh, you okay? And you are going to break out of this mold around money, family money, something like that. It's very spiritual, it's deep. So spend some time in meditation, allow yourself to sit with this energy. It might even have to do with like you're changing the trajectory of your family as it relates to owning land, owning real estate, owning your own home, something like that. So super beautiful. It's harmonious. It's not negative. It's not bad. And it's not, I mean, I say change, but I really mean transformation and evolution. So that happens until the 10th of the month. Then on the 10th of the month, you've got Venus in Gemini. This is my favorite of all times. Venus in Gemini. Venus is the star of July. Venus in Gemini sextile Mercury in Leo. So hear me out when I tell you this is the manifesting formula of astrology. I've never heard any other astrologer say this. So hopefully I'm not stealing anyone's idea here. And if so, let me know in the comments below. But the way I see it is this. To manifest, it's very simple. Most humans, most coaches overcomplicate it. Books overcomplicate it. There's so many words about it. And it's like, it's so freaking simple. Step one, your thoughts and your speech, Mercury, need to be in alignment with your emotions, Venus, which need to be in alignment with the actions you're taking to manifest. Okay. So you're thinking about something, you're speaking it out into existence, you're positive about it, it's really positive energy, you feel really good about it, and you're doing the thing that feels really good to lead you toward your goal. It's so simple. Are you okay, Pippi? Oh my gosh, girl, let it out. So this is the manifesting formula. The action you might wonder is this sextile. My arrows are getting worse as the day goes on. This is like my 8th video or something. The sextile says the door is open, but you've got to walk through the door, Pisces, okay? So I think this is a manifesting formula. How it's going to play out for you is this. You've got this energy of love and money in your house of home and family. And you've got Mercury here. You're focused in on your work routine, your day-to-day life. Oh my gosh, Pippi, I'm so sorry if you can hear that. She's really like sneezing it out. And in your area of your health, okay? So your family is just supporting you totally, completely. And because you feel so loved, you're having such great days and you've got an efficient routine going and you receive some good news about your health. You receive some good news about your health, Mercury, and because of it, everyone is like really relieved and like the family is full of love. You receive good news about your work up in the 6th house, your work and health, your work routines. You receive some good news about your boss. Hey, we're going to give you the raise or promotion. And now you have money, Venus funneling into your family. We're going to let you work from home. And everyone's so excited at home because now you're at home with your family. I mean, there's a lot of ways, once again, this could be interpreted and playing out, but just know that it has something to do with money or love in your family, land, real estate. And it's a focus on like your day-to-day life, right? The 6th house is your work routines, your day in, day out routine as it relates to your colleagues, your boss, what you're doing every day. So it's like your day in the life of and your health. Maybe you get some good news about your health. Everyone's really happy about it and love is pouring into your home and family. Maybe you have so much money coming into your home and family that your partner is like, hey, guy, girl, lady, hey, babe, you get to change up your routine and now you get to go to the spa once a week or something, or you can quit your job even. I mean, it could go that way too. So you'll have to let me know, Pisces, how it plays out for you. But it involves your work, your health, your daily life, and your family, the land, real estate, your home, something like that. Okay, by the way, let's look at this really quickly. I want to show you that it marches through the sky so nicely. I like to show because I think it gives a good visual on what we're talking about. It's the 10th of July. I'm moving it forward. Watch Venus and Mercury. They're circled 11, 12. They're dancing so nicely. 13, 14, 15, going in the sky so nicely together. 16, 17, 18. And then on the 19th, 18th Mercury retrogrades. The 19th now Mercury's kind of coming back this way toward Venus. So until the 18th, you have this really powerful manifesting energy in the sky around your home, family, work, health. Couldn't get any better than that, could it, Pisces? Okay, so then let's talk on the 10th of the month again. We're going back to the 10th through the end of the month now. You've got Venus down here, love and money in your house of home and family, squaring up with Mars in your relationship house. So most astrologers are going to say that a square is like doom and gloom, like the world is ending. And I'm not going to say that to you because I'm Lindsay with love, not Lindsay with not love. And I like to view any challenge in life as an opportunity for my soul to grow and evolve. So if you think about a challenge like that, then you never have a problem in your life, which means you're always moving toward your end goal. And that feels really good versus like, oh my gosh, I have to figure this out. I have to figure this out. That doesn't feel so good. That just causes you stress and increases your cortisol. And then there's all these issues, right? So with this square in the sky, it's like an opportunity for you to break out of some rut that you've been stuck in. Okay. This rut that you've been stuck in has to do with your home and your family life, either the love or money inside, a real estate portfolio, something to do with that, and a relationship. Okay. Could be a relationship with your husband, your wife, your kid, your parents, a family member. If it's your parents, it's maybe your mom because the fourth house is the mother. But there's something where you want to take some act. Okay, so you're a little bit frustrated, Pisces. A square is tension, it's frustration, it's annoyance, and you're like, oh. But rather than be just frustrated and spiraling and suffering in silence, what you're going to do with this frustration is you're going to use it as fuel to take some action to feel better and break free of the cycle. So you're taking some action in a relationship, Mars in your relationship house, whether that means you're talking to somebody more forward, you're sitting down with somebody and sharing how you feel, you're putting a boundary up in a relationship so that you feel better at home, love flows into your house and your family, so that maybe put a boundary up with like a husband or a wife around like spending or something so that more money can flow into this house, house of your fourth house of home and relationship, so you can buy a house. You put a little bit of a boundary, or you like look at, you're sitting with your partner and you're talking about whatever so that you can build out your dream home, buy the land, get the real estate, something like that. But just know that from the 10th of the month to the end of the month, you're going to have a little bit of frustration around a family relationship, likely. And that relationship, something needs to give. And something needs to give, Pisces. And if you were to just use it as fuel to propel you into a new reality, it doesn't mean that something has to be bad. Yes, it's a square, but it's an opportunity for you to evolve with your family, with your partnerships. So maybe you just need to be really forward with somebody that you're living with, a family member, whatever, to say like, look, this is bothering me, or this is what's happening, and how are we gonna move out of this together type of vibes. So food for thought there, Pisces. That's through the end of the month. Now let's march forward all the way to the 24th, the new moon. Now I didn't talk about this in the general reading at the beginning of the video. So make sure when you're watching my videos moving forward that you watch the whole thing, because there's some things I'm going to say in the general transits that I don't cover here, and vice versa. And it's all important. And it's all for you to really use the energy to your greatest advantage to get closer and closer to your dream life every single day. That's what my goal is for you. So here you've got the new moon on the 24th. Mercury is retrograde, remember, in the 6th house. New moon in the 6th house, your work relationships, your work routine, your day in the life of routine, your health routine, and your health in general, across the sky from Pluto, okay, in your 12th house. So what is this saying? Well, once again, this is manifesting time. Mercury is retrograde, so think your manifestation through before you launch it. Put it in pencil, like I said at the beginning of the video, before you pen it out into your journal. But here it's like, Pluto wants you to transform something as it relates to maybe your faith, your self-trust, your spiritual essence, your connection with your higher self, your intuition. The more kind of like behind the under the veil type energy, the spiritual essence of who you are. Or Pluto wants you to let go of a bad habit so that you can have a healthier lifestyle, so that you can have a more balanced lifestyle, so that you can have a better work and health routine. It's like something has to give emotionally, and there's this internal battle between you, like inside of you, that's like a tug of war, almost like a push and pull. Like, if I give up this part of my routine, like, will I actually get closer to my dreams? The 12th house is your dreams and your wishes fulfilled. And with Pluto there, Pluto wants you to have your dreams and your wishes fulfilled. It's something along the lines of, what if you gave up this bad, oh, interesting, a check mark. What if you gave up, Pisces, this bad habit that you've been holding on to, and all of a sudden your whole life, your health is better, work is easier, your everyday is better, things are good. What if you stopped, doubting yourself, or stopped wasting time in your everyday life, and you became more effective and efficient? Then could you create your dream life faster? I mean, these are things that you can ask yourself with this new moon across the sky from Pluto, and your emotions. Something to do with your emotions and transcending into like a better life. Now, if you avoid that conversation on the 24th, don't worry, you have another chance. On the 25th to the end of the month, you've got the sun now in your sixth house. The moon has moved on. It moves quickly in the sky, but the sun is staying here across from Pluto, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. It's there, okay? So the sun is your confidence. It's how you shine brightest. It's your personal power. It's empowerment. It's growth and expansion in your house of your day-to-day life, work and health routines. And so once again, it's like, are you confident enough, Pisces, to say, like, this is my new routine, and I trust that as I do this routine, my life is going to change for the better. I'm going to let go of this bad habit, and I'm going to tap into my confidence and my personal empowerment to make sure that I do transcend into a different frequency, a frequency and version of me that no longer does this bad habit, right? Has something to do with, once again, like, oh, I'm going to trust my intuition, find my faith, and just trust that God, Source, Universe, Creator has my back so that I can shine super bright in my work, so that I can get the perfect body, super fit, super healthy, and love every single day of my life. I mean, the choice is yours, Pisces. The choice is always yours, and you are creating your reality. So please don't forget that. So use that information wisely. And finally, on the 31st, we end the month with a Mercury retrograde cazimi, once again happening in your sixth house. So Mercury retrograded on the 18th. I talked about it at the beginning of the videos on the general transits, and retrogrades until August 11th. And in the smack dab of this retrograde, you have an aha moment of clarity. This cazimi is Mercury entering into the heart of the sun, or so it appears. And it's like the light bulb goes on, the switch goes on, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I finally figured it out. You are receiving good news or some clarity around your work. You finally figured out something to do with your health. You finally figured out why your routine isn't working for you, where you're wasting time and energy in your routine. You finally discovered how to get into flow state, even, right? Now, the interesting part about this Mercury cazimi, retrograde cazimi, is that on March 24th, Pisces, you had the same Mercury retrograde cazimi energy happening in your second house. So if you think back to March 24th, if you keep a journal or a diary or something like that, or you have notes around what happened in that day, you might be able to kind of put the puzzle pieces together. You might have had an aha moment about how you manage money, an aha moment about a gift or a talent that you could monetize, an aha moment about like, I am worthy to have my best life ever. And now you're having this aha moment like, okay, if I manage my money this way, I don't have to work as hard. If I monetize this gift and I start monetizing it now, I don't have to work as hard, and it could be a passive income in the next year. And I've just released myself from like so much effort. If I were to just decide that I'm worthy of the health I want, that my cells are vibrating in perfect harmony, that I have the perfect body, and I love getting dressed and going out and being seen, and people say I'm beautiful, then I would release myself from this health issue that might be, kind of spiraling me. Could play out in a bunch of different ways, but if you go back to the 24th of March, you might have had an aha moment that will connect with this aha moment on the 31st. Okay, Pisces, that's what I have for you. Comment, like, subscribe, share, do all the things for your girl. Help me out. And if you are interested in working with me, you can find more information about me at lindsaywithlove.com, along with all my services and products. And you can also check out the description box below.